The planning experience was great. We discussed how I could access the IEPs online and the 504 plan of one of my students, which ended up moving, so I didn't need to think about her when I was actually teaching the lesson. We discussed when I would teach the lesson and what I would teach. I would be teaching a lesson on counting money in mid-November, and the planning experience only took about 20 minutes. We waited until the students went to recess and then just stayed in the room and talked about it, and it was easy. But from this assignment, I realized how teachers have to plan for the whole year and not just week to week. Whereas now, my teacher tells me, like, on Wednesday or Thursday what I'm going to be teaching next week, and then over the weekend I construct a lesson plan for that, but I had no idea, like, what would be taught next. So I don't know if my mentor teacher has somewhere written, like, year to year what's going on, or if she's just very experienced and knows what to do. We were asked to do this assignment so we could experience all the planning that goes into being a teacher and how differentiating lesson plans is necessary to consider the students with modifications and accommodations so they can have all of those met during the lesson. The gathering facts assignment was more stressful than the planning assignment, but I really liked the learning style and the interest inventory papers we did because I got to really know my students, and I'm definitely going to use those when I become a real teacher. That'll be something we do every year in my classroom because it's just so important to know your students, to teach your students, and to incorporate their likes, dislikes, and how they learn into your lessons because ultimately the classroom is theirs as much as it is yours. So the experience was great after I made all the charts and stuff. I didn't so much like making the charts because I'm terrible at technology, but it was worth it in the end. So we did this assignment so we would have these charts in the future and see how gathering these facts really does impact the teaching of the lesson. So making the differentiated lesson plan wasn't as difficult as I thought. I have so much experience now from doing the Benedict format and doing those differentiation tables in class, so that wasn't too bad. I think differentiating lessons isn't something that should be seen as difficult or intimidating because we need to do it in all of our lessons so all of our students' needs can be met. Whenever I taught the lesson, I differentiated by readiness, so the students had different amounts of coins in their bags and different values. So some had pennies, nickels, dimes, some just had pennies, and the students didn't even know what like whose coins were different. So that was great. They and it was interesting because like I didn't specifically tell them where to sit where the bags of coins were. I would have, but they kind of sat where they were on readiness level anyway. So one of my students who I planned on just giving the bag of pennies went straight to the bag of pennies. So I was like, well, this is great. I don't even have to like switch up the bags for them. So that went really well. Next time I'll do more modeling to show what each of the value of the coins are and how much they're worth, their names and stuff, because some of my students, this was the first time they had seen money. Like I was the one that introduced money to them at school, so I really needed to model the beginning, what the coins mean, what their value are, what they look like, before just handing them the coins. I shouldn't have assumed all the students knew the coin names. So that's my lesson.